Okay, so I wasn't gonna make a video on this originally, but we gotta talk about this. So, not too far from where I live, there is a Mormon church. And again, I have reason to believe that they're sending their best out to me. They're after me. I know how schizo this is gonna sound, but you guys gotta believe me, because literally the other day, they sent two of their people at my doorstep, and they're upping their game, their tactics. They're sending white girls after me, my only weakness, and they know it. So to give you guys some context, around where I live, there is not like a bunch of Mormons running around, but you're gonna run into a Mormon eventually. Like, that's not even a question. And they're gonna approach you and they're gonna ask you if you've accepted Jesus in your heart, that whole thing. And you guys know me. I'm not religious. I don't subscribe to any religion or anything. I don't believe in the supernatural, things like that. That's just how I am. Like, I'm not here to say I'm better than you or anything. I just don't believe. Like, I used to be Catholic as a child. I took it as serious as you can when you're a kid. But I deconstructed, and now I'm an atheist. I don't believe in anything. So if this video, rustles some feathers, there's nothing I can do about that. It's inevitable. But today I want to talk about my experiences with people, with Mormon people and things like that, just religious people in general, actually. Because I've been approached by people of all sorts of religions, and I notice that all of them kind of follow the same kind of script, whether it's Christianity or being Mormon, or even though they're the same thing, right? You could argue that they're different, sure, but like, when I say they're the same, I mean they're based on the same, like, general principles. Mormons just pretend to be different and cool. But yeah, the church by me, they're up in their game. Before, they used to send dudes after me, but now they're sending white girls after me. And guys, I don't it might work, I don't know. Like, they might have to send a couple more, just to be sure. Like, I ain't trying to say nothing, but like, as you would probably know by now, I'm having a lot of fun with this. But I just want to say, I'm going to say it here and now. I am not religious. I am never going to subscribe to a religion. I'm not that kind of person. So if I ever hop on here and tell you guys that I converted or that Jesus is real or whatnot, just take a note that that's not me. They captured me. That's a skin crawler who's using my likeness and my voice. If that ever happens, okay? This is my declaration. You know how people say that they're not suicidal, and then they're found dead the next day? Like, this is my declaration here. I ain't religious, and I ain't gonna convert to anything anytime soon. So if you ever hear that I converted or that I'm a part of a church or something, that ain't me. That's all you gotta know. True fans of the channel will know that is not me. Don't listen to that guy. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to talk about this one experience I had. Not with the Mormon, though. I'll get back to them in a second. I want to talk about this one born again Christian old lady that I had the pleasure of running into, not once but twice. So strap in, because it's gonna get a little weird. So this was a couple years ago. I was coming off of the job that I had at the time, and it was located in a plaza. So, it's like restaurants and stores all over the place. And to get out of the plaza, I had a route that I would usually take. Funny enough, it was there used to be a smoke shop around here, and I would take the route that kind of goes to that to get out of the plaza to go home. And I'm taking my usual route one day, and then there's this old white lady, she has like her dog in one hand and has like these pamphlets in another. And it's she's following the script of like, you need to accept Jesus in your heart because, you're going to be doomed for eternity if you don't accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. Like that whole thing. Like I've heard this hundreds of times already. And as I'm walking closer to her vicinity, in my head, I'm like saying, please don't notice me. Please don't talk to me. Please don't. But she's like in the middle of like the pathway. So it was inevitable that she was going to talk to me and that we were going to interact. And as I get closer, she stops me and then we have to interact. It's like when you like a NPC in Pokemon. You're trying to like avoid the fight, and then they just like turn around and then they walk up to you and you have no choice. And you gotta fight. Like that. That's what it felt like. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Like I'm just getting off of work. I'm all greasy. I'm all sweaty. Like I'm hungry. Like I just want to go home, eat my food, take a shower, hop on the game, and then do it all again tomorrow. That's what I want to do. I don't want to hear about whatever the hell this church has to offer, because I ain't got time to go to church. I'm not religious. I don't do any of that stuff. You can do that. It's none of my business. These are rules for you and not for me. And so she talks about, she like greets herself. I forget what her name was, but she is like, oh, like, do you go to church? Have you accepted Jesus as your Lord and Savior? And I'm like, no, I don't go to church. I don't believe in Jesus. I'm not religious. I don't do any of that. And she like was like afraid of that. She was like, she got scared when she heard that. And then she was like, oh, but like, you're such a nice like young man. Like, what do you mean you don't have Jesus in your life? And I was like, I'm busy with work and life and stuff. I just actually don't have time to pray or to read the Bible or whatever. I was trying to be like very nice about it, because I didn't want to because this was an old lady. I didn't want to be mean. So I tried to just be honest, and I was like, yeah, I just don't have time. And she hands me like this like little like a little pamphlet or whatever. And then she's like, well, like, it's not too late to turn to Christ, following the usual script. And I'm like, yeah, well, if I have time, I'll look into it. And she handed me the little book and stuff, and I went on with my day. I didn't think like anything about it. You know, I don't even know what I did with the with the book. I'm gonna be honest. I think I threw it away when I got home. I don't remember. And then I moved on with my life. And I was like, well, like that was interesting. And then I think like a week or two later, she's there in that same like little pathway again. And I'm taking my usual route. She's there. I run into her again. And to my surprise, she remembered me because she stopped me and was like, oh, hey, like I remember like you, like, and then she's like, like looking for like an update, and it's like, did you turn to Jesus like last time we spoke? And I was like, no, I still haven't. Like, I'm still, I don't have time. I'm sorry. And then this time she went on a 30-minute like sermon about how she was a born again Christian and how Jesus like saved her life. The typical thing you often hear about. And she said that turning to Christ was one of the best things that ever happened to her. And how she came to this revelation was that, and I kid you not, these are her words. She said this, and I quote, I was driving on the freeway one day, and then the pain that Jesus felt on the cross filled my body, and I had to pull over and just thank Christ for his sacrifice. Unquote. This old lady really told me that. And keep in mind, I'm in the same position. I'm like, I'm tired. I just got off work. I'm all sweaty. I'm all greasy. Like, I just want to go home. And here I have this woman talking about she felt what Jesus felt while being on the cross, and that she converted and was a born again Christian because of that. And also that she, like, once that happened, she went home and sold all of her possessions. These are her words. Sold all of her possessions and has nothing in her house except for a table, her Bible, and like some candles or something, because she doesn't like use electricity anymore. Something crazy like that, okay? And I'm there listening to this, and I kid you not, like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, that's my one thing. Like, I'm always gonna be honest with you. In that moment, I was actually like looking around. Like, I was still listening to her, right? But I was like looking around to see if there was any, like, if there was somebody like recording, if this was like a YouTube like prank, like hidden camera, like I was just looking around, like, in my head I was thinking, I was like, am I getting pranked right now? Is this a YouTube like skit? Am I not picking up on the joke? And I started looking around. I don't see anybody like who would be recording. Everyone's going about their day. And she's over here telling me that Jesus is the shepherd and we're the sheep, and that there's a spiritual war going on right now, and that the more people, she quote unquote saves, the stronger this angel army is going to be, or something like that. And when she was giving this whole speech, she was like on the brink of tears. And I was like, oh my God, you really believe this? Like, I felt bad because I was like, this woman has been, what's the right word? The brainwashed into fearing all of this. We have, like, how do you prove that there's a spiritual war? How do you say that with a straight face? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being realistic. Like, honestly. There's no way to prove any of these. And that's why stopped being religious when like I really sat down to think about it. I was like, I can't prove any of this. I've lived my life and never really, had Jesus intervene at all, or God, or whatever you want to say. Like, I lived my life and I never felt anything in that sense. So I have my reasons for why I don't believe, you know what I mean? Because that's just how I am. I need to see it to believe it. And if you tell me something and you can't prove it, then I'm out. But anyway, she's telling me that there's this spiritual war going on, telling me that like she is here to save me. And you can see how this, to someone like me, this is just a bunch of like crazy nonsense. Like, I am not taking you seriously at all when you tell me all of this stuff. And then she tells me, oh, are you like, did you find a church to go to? Yeah. Clearly not getting the message that I'm not gonna go to a church. Like, I don't have time to fit that into my schedule. Like, I have no business in being in a church. That's just like the bottom line. But of course, she wasn't taking no for an answer. And then again, I was like, oh no, I'm still busy with work and stuff. I don't really have time. And then she's like, do you have a car? And I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, well, there's 2 churches around here, not far from here. You could get a bike and you could, travel and go to church and on that. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I'm not doing that. That's not going to happen. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And, yeah, she didn't take no for an answer. And she gave me another book of like something about like recruiting. I forget what it was exactly, but I kept it, and I got home and I gave it to my roommate because he's also an atheist and doesn't believe in any gods. And so I briefly explained to him what happened, and then I just gave him the book, and I was like, yeah, I'm sure you can get use out of this. I don't know. And then he takes a look at it, and then he notices that somewhere on there's like a little fine print. There's like a website that was listed on there, and so he decides to go check it out. He looks it up on his phone, and then it takes him to like some like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like some like South Korean like embassy website or something. Yeah, it was, I don't know where that was leading to, but I ain't gonna dox myself, but I can tell you I don't live in South Korea. I'm fairly certain I don't live there. So yeah, that was very strange. I haven't seen that old lady since then, so I don't know where she's at, what she's doing, but I'm just gonna be honest. It sounds like she might have mental issues and has no family to really take care of her, because she was kind of a wreck and really was harping on this Jesus stuff. And it's like, it's sad to see, honestly. Like, I'm not even trying to bash. Like, if you're religious and that's your coping mechanism, like, that's fine. I get it. This world is crazy, and we all need something to keep ourselves going. Religion just didn't do it for me. But that doesn't mean that, if it works for you, it works for you. Again, I'm not like here to deconvert people. That's not what I'm saying. Who am I to take something away from that? But I'm looking at the situation, how it is. And that's how it really felt to me. And I'm saying it out of like, for her own good, because it sucks to see that. it sucks that people around here don't get the proper mental care that, you know, they really need. So yeah, I don't know what she's up to these days. I don't know, but it's just really sad to see. I do hope that if there is an afterlife, I hope they do rest easy when the time comes, because again, it's kind of sad, and I would want them to be happy. Again, I'm not religious though, so I don't know. I just want what's good for people, but I'm not going to go and, you know, shove religion down people's throats or whatever. I've also had other experiences with religious people. I had this interaction with this one guy, this one like painter, like this guy who works in painting like walls and stuff. This was at my old job a while ago. I got into a topic with this guy about religion because he pointed out that I was such a nice guy that clearly I believed in God. I don't see the correlation on that, but that was his line of thinking. And I was like, oh, well, actually, I don't believe in any God. I don't subscribe to any God. And then he's like, but you're so nice to people. Like, how can you not believe in God? And I was like, because it's never been proven to me that he exists. And then he's like, he wanted to share his experience to really sell me on that God existed. And I was like, okay, this is a step up for most people. And I'm like, yeah, I'll hear you out. Like, hopefully after your testimony, you know, I'll convert and I'll be a Christian or whatever. I entertained the idea, right? And this guy goes on to say how he knows that God exists. And again, I'm always going to be honest with you guys in these videos. I always tell you the truth. I don't exaggerate anything. I don't just tell you guys stuff that fits my narrative. I'm going to tell you everything the way it happened. And I kid you not, this guy is like, oh, I know God exists because the other day I parked my car on a red line where you're not supposed to park. And then when I went to sleep that night, I prayed to God that he would wake me up early so that way my car wouldn't get towed. Like that was, and this guy was serious. That's what him waking up early so that his car wouldn't be towed was his proof that God existed. And in that moment, I looked at him, waiting for him to maybe be like, oh, I'm just kidding, or like if it was a joke or anything, right? But he was 100% serious. And I was like, that just sounds like you didn't want your car to be towed, so you woke up early. Maybe I'm missing something, but that's what it sounds like to me. But this guy insisted. He was like, no, it's because I prayed to God, and then God woke me up. I never wake up early. And then I was like, well, how often do you park your car in a no parking spot? And then he's like, oh, I hardly never do that. And I was like, well, there you go. I don't know what else to say. So if that's what God is sending, if that's God's best, I feel bad, bro, because these people really aren't doing a good job at it. But leave in the comments though if you have any experiences and why I should believe. I will actually take a look at those. But now, going back to the Mormons, though. The Mormon church by my place, they often have, people scouting around here. and I've run into them a couple times. This one time, I ran into these two guys, these two white dudes. I was in my uniform for the job that I used to have. Because again, funny enough, I was coming off of work, and I was just so over it, and I wanted to go home, and I was on my way, and for some reason, these guys only spoke to me in Spanish, which I do speak. They spoke to me in Spanish, very, very broken Spanish, even though I can speak English perfectly fine. And I assume they also could speak English. I'm not sure why they decided to speak Spanish and only Spanish to me, but they did that. And it was the same script. Like, have you accepted Jesus in your heart? Like, you should come to our church. We're doing something on Sunday, like that whole thing. And then again, I was like, oh no, I don't got time for that. I'm busy. You know, the usual thing that I say, which is true, because the reason why I don't go is because, well, for one, I'm not religious, but I also don't have time. So I'm not lying to these people when I say that. And again, they just kept speaking Spanish, which was fine because I could also speak Spanish, so I could keep up with the conversation. Again, it's just a little weird that they felt the need to do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too deep into it. You let me know. You guys let me know. And then they gave me their card, and then they have the address and the church, and this is a Mormon church and stuff. And I'm like, these people really need to leave me alone. Like, I don't want nothing to do with this. But it doesn't stop there, because at my old job, it was a fast food place, for some context. It was like the last hour before closing, I was working the drive-thru. And we got these two guys in the drive-thru, right? I'm pretty sure they were also Mormon. I don't think they should have been driving a car. I think they have to drive bikes, as far as I'm aware. I don't know. Someone let me know in the comments. But they were in a car. One was wearing like a suit. The other one had just like a hoodie. And like they stopped. Like I give them their food through the window, and then the driver of the car is like, oh, like, are you doing anything on Sunday? And I stop for a second, and I'm like, do I know them? Like, why are they making plans with me? You know, like, I had to stop and think about it for a second. And then I was like, yeah, I'm going to be working. That's what I'm going to be doing. And then he's like, oh, well, like, let me be the first to invite you, you know, to my church where we're having this thing on Sunday. And, you know, you're like, we're inviting you to come along. And he hands me his card, and it's the same card that I've been getting with all the other experiences. And I was like, what the hell? And then, I don't know why, but for this particular moment, I was like, I just told the guy, like, straight up, was like, oh no, I just don't believe in God. I don't know why. I think I was just over it at that point. And I said, yeah, like, I'm good, bro. Like, I don't believe in God. You know, I have my reasons. I just, you know, I try not to make it a big deal. And the guy was chill about it. And again, you know, I try to not make it a big deal. I prefaced, like, I'm not trying to have a debate here. I don't think I'm better than you or anything. I just don't believe. You have a belief system on that. I don't subscribe to that belief. That's basically the gist of it. And surprisingly, the dude was like very chill about it. And he's like, no, yeah, I understand that. Like, we just go out and invite people to our church. Like, we don't mean nothing by it. Like, you know, you can show up if you want. If not, that's fine either. That's fine either way. And so he was really nice about it. And so I felt kind of bad because I was like, damn. Like, not that I was like being an asshole, but like, here he is, inviting me out of the courtesy of his, of his church and stuff. And I'm over here being like, ain't nobody want to go to this shit. But then again, he's probably like making commissions off the people that he brings in. So I can't feel too bad. And then he said to me, he goes on to say, he kind of wanted to know why I don't believe. And I was like, well, I have personal reasons for it I don't want to get into. And also before I deconstructed, I did pray to God to make one thing. I have a very specific thing. I'm not going to say what it is, but I do have a very specific wish. During my last prayer that I ever did, I wished for something. I spoke out to God, right? As you do. And I said, God, if you really do exist, there's only one thing I ever want you to do for me. Again, I'm not going to say what it is, but I put it out there. If God really exists and he really wants me to convert, he knows what to do. I told him, and that thing has yet to happen. And it's been a couple years now. So that leads me to believe that either God doesn't exist or he does exist and he doesn't want me to know that he exists. Because I've never heard the voice of God. I've never felt the Holy Spirit. I can't honestly say that the Holy Trinity has ever played a part in my life at all. Like I have no experiences with any of it. And I'm not going to come on here and say that I have when I haven't, because I'd be lying. And I don't like to lie. I don't think lying's good. But yeah, but that guy at the drive-thru, though, he was really chill about it. And I was like, I don't want to get into it. I have my reasons and stuff. And he was like, that's understandable. And then he's like, yeah, like, oh, he left me with his final message saying he's going to keep me in his prayers or whatever. And again, I was so like done with this like script that I was like, well, if you really want to help, if you truly want to help me, like, give me money. Because you can keep your prayers, bro, because prayer doesn't work. It just doesn't. But I said it like in a kind of like a joking way, because I was working a fast food job. Like, you think I have money? Like, you think I'm happy? No, of course not. But yeah, I was quick to like let him know I'm just joking. But it's just like, I get that these people want to do good. I think it's just a matter of how they go about doing it. Because I'm so like, I hear the same script, the same sermon. It's all, and it just, I'm going to be honest, it means absolutely nothing to me. All these extraordinary claims and no evidence. I can, like, to the best of my ability, I try to understand. But I don't know, maybe there's something I'm missing. And now this Mormon church, they're sending white girls to my doorstep. They know my weakness. They're gonna get to me one of these days. They're probably listening in right now. They're probably watching this video. The other day, they were here. Like I mentioned earlier, they were showing up at my doorstep. But they weren't looking for me, though. They were looking for my mom. And I was like, what the hell? And then I found out that apparently my mom was like, because my mom is religious, right? She's Catholic still. She tried to not forced Catholicism onto me, but growing up, we went to like a Catholic church and stuff. Again, I stepped out of the faith, but she didn't. She still believes, which is fine. I like to talk to her about religion and stuff because I like to see the way that she thinks about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, these Mormon chicks were out here looking for mom. And I remember this happened a few days ago. I was eating and nobody else was home. I hear a knock on the door. And I see the two Mormon people. It's these two ladies. Well, I say ladies, but they were like definitely around my age. And I look, I'm not gonna lie, okay? Like there was two of them. The second one I don't remember too much because she didn't really do any of the talking. She was kind of there. But the main one, the main girl, that's where like I was like, God damn. Respectfully, of course. I'm talking white girl with the freckles, with the brown hair, pink dress. She was cute as hell. I'm just gonna say it. Like the girl looked good, and I don't think it's a bad thing to acknowledge when someone looks good. And she was very nice too. I opened the door, and I was like, I look at them for a second, trying to figure out what the hell. And then I kind of put two and two together, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're probably, because like, you know, my mom doesn't have any friends. Like this isn't, and no one else here is inviting people over. I know I definitely didn't invite them over. And then they're like, they introduce themselves, and then they say that they're part of something Church of Jesus Christ. And then when I heard that, I was like, oh, great. They're stepping up their game. Look what they're sending. They're making it hard to say no. And then they said, they mentioned my mom's name. They're looking for her. And I was like, oh, she's not home. Yeah, she's still at work. I could tell her you guys were looking for her. And then they were like, oh, like, no, that's okay. Like, we can come back later or whatever. And then in my head, I was like, oh, please come back. Please, bro, please come back. You know what I mean? I'm having too much fun. I'm having too much fun with these videos. But no, like for real though, I was like, I didn't get her name. I didn't get anything, but she was cute as hell. And again, I have no evidence of this, but I'm pretty sure this church is like stalking me, because what are the odds of that, right? And if that church finds this video and they're just saying all this, send the pink dress girl over here again. I'm willing to listen to her sermon. Like, who knows? Maybe if I spend enough time with her, she'll convert me. That's my offer. That's my offer to the church that may or may not be listening. I don't know. I'm stupid. Don't listen to me. I'm not a professional in any of the fields. In any of these fields. But yeah, I haven't seen them since then. Part of me, I'm kind of hoping they do come back, because like I want to, like, if anything, I really want to debate her on like just the religion and stuff. Obviously, I won't be an asshole about it, but I just mean like I want to know how she like thinks this stuff. I really want her to like question it a little, just a little bit. You know, get her to understand why there's people who don't believe. That's really it. I don't know. Is that weird? Let me know in the comments. Is that weird? I just want to have a civil discussion. It gets pretty lonely here in the studio, so I don't have much people to talk to. So I don't know. I thought that could be fun. But yeah, as you can see, I meet all types of people with all types of views and beliefs and stuff, and they're all so different, but yet all similar at the same time. I really don't know what to do. But I again, this might sound really schizo, but I'm telling you guys right here, right now, that church is stalking me. They know where I live. I really hope they find this channel and this video so they know. And they're going to see that I'm a demonic VTuber. Hopefully they send that girl from earlier so she tries to save me. I'm messing her. I play too much. I'm joking. She was cute. That's all. I thought she was cute. That's it. We're gonna leave it at that. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go before I say anything else that could be taken out of context and will be bad. Let me know if you guys share my views, or if you think I'm wrong, or you think I'm right. Whatever the case may be, let me know, because I do value your guys' opinions, because we all know viewers of mine are smart and they're hot. All of my subscribers are hot and smart, and that's been proven. Like I don't make the rules. Let me take a swig of this potion. But yeah, I value you guys a lot and your opinions and stuff. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'm gonna go. I don't know, probably like get some Taco Bell or something. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Once again, thank you for watching. And if you made it to the end, honestly, like shout out to you. I really do appreciate every single one of you guys that watches, subscribes, or even if you stuck around, because I know this channel's been a mess. But if you're here for the journey and you're sticking around for that, I really do appreciate that. And yeah, I really have to pee, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.